Welcome back, guys. It's Maverick here, and welcome to another episode of fugoukeiji with episode 9. So, last episode, we've got some actual casualties, right? As in, some guys which we know, which we followed their story for a little while, has been killed off. Even though, of course, I don't really think that was too much of a surprise. The death flags were everywhere. If you didn't notice it, well, what were you looking at, right? And Haru, understandably so, is not exactly happy with Daisuke right now. He feels that he didn't do enough to help. He's a little bit cold-hearted, and perhaps responsible for Cho-san's death. Now, personally, I went over this last episode. Personally, I don't think, even if he did rush back, it would have much of a difference. But, sometimes it's the attitude that counts, right? And, this entire situation is actually kind of reminding me of Batman, in a sense, right? Batman, in some iterations, he's so hell-bent on revenge, anything to do with his parents and whatnot, which is similar to Daisuke's situation here. And sometimes he needs someone to bring him down back to Earth, right? And in those classical comics sense, it would be Robin, the trusty sidekick who will be there to, bring him back down to Earth, saying, hey, look, Batman, chill out, dude. And so I'm getting a kind of this sort of vibe from this series as well. I do think that Haru's going to, he's still obviously going to help Daisuke, but he's probably going to basically make him rethink his decisions and his approach of doing things. Beyond that, though, at the end of last episode, it was kind of vague as to whether or not Cho-san actually left some clues in order to further along the case and to further along and allow us to find out who is actually behind all of this, right? Is that true or not? Well, let's just get right into the episode. Alright, let's begin in 3, 2, 1, play. Dun dun dun. Oh, right at the end of last episode. What is this, midnight? I resign. It's like, this place has served its usefulness. I'm off. Or who knows? Maybe he's actually thinking he doesn't want to involve others any further. There's a lot of different ways that you can go around this, right? On one hand, it is sort of like a disgrace on the family name and whatnot. Or you could also consider it the fact that he thinks the police have outlived usefulness to him. Or maybe, just maybe, in his mind, he's thinking, no, I shouldn't involve others any further. His way of showing sort of, what's the word? Compassion to others? I feel like Haru is probably one of those dudes that will actually try to arrest him and bring him in for questioning, though. Let's see how it goes here. Oh, so was it? What, is it a clue? Oh. Yeah. So that was actually... that actually was a clue. But seriously, why can that guy... Why can that guy take on two police officers? Hmm. Come on, Grandma. You must know the whole truth, right? That's the case, I'm gonna care. Yeah, his judgment is being clouded. There has to... There has to be, like, a much better way of doing things. Like, seriously, they're drawing way too much attention. Oh my god. That was entirely justified. Accomplice to robbery and whatnot? Doesn't matter. It was still a felony. Why would he hold a grudge towards Takei? Shoving the responsibilities of this? You are like the worst detective ever, dude. No wonder you guys... no wonder you guys can't do anything. I gotta say, these First Division guys are clearly not the brightest. Hmm? What else were you expecting? Like, I thought that was obvious. What the fuck? Seriously, who let this guy be a police officer and of the First Division? He has to be like one of the dumbest officers I've ever seen. Oh my god. And only now you guys are seeing that? And you couldn't have rewound that, like, before he got there? Why does it sound more like... It does sound like engine noise. Oh. Oh. So which Kanbei did this? Oh. Okay. The current Kanbei. Daisuke did this. Holy shit. Alright. So everybody's gonna gather at the docks. Mm-hmm. Okay, and where's Dice? Oh, here he is. How's it? It's water repellent. No, what the fuck? Well, no, he's gonna swim. Okay, so apparently it's... I mean, just don't question it. It's like Tony Stark and Bruce Wayne all rolled in one. Oh, it's camouflage, actually. Is he gonna be up on the bridge? Looking down? Yep. Wait, where did... It's like an EMP of sort? Holy shit, and then he's got like a railgun? That still works, even without electricity? Ah, it's up to Haru to save the day. I think we're going more James Bond now. Oh. Are you able to shoot? He's probably gonna choose an alternative way to do this. And who the hell are you? Yeah, that cost a lot of money. Alright, see you guys after this. Alrighty, so we are getting all James Bond and stuff up in here with this episode. We literally got Kanbei, or I guess Daisuke, almost suiting up into an Iron Man suit of some sort, but apparently it has ability to be invisible, make you invisible, and also enhances your hand-to-hand combat skills and speed, agility, and so on and so forth, right? And I guess that also answers the question as to how Shikimaru was able to just take down 2 well-trained police officers by himself. He had probably artificial help in that kind of manner, so that's why he was able to kill Cho-san and Takai with relative ease, right? And that suit cost a fortune. I believe it cost about 1.6 billion US dollars, which rightfully so. Like, that is definitely of a technology that does not exist, right? But anyways, so the first half of this episode, I was actually getting kind of annoyed once again due to the entire backstory with Haru and also the incompetence of the First Division. So the Haru situation, I've made my point very clear back in, what was it, episode 4 or 5, right? To me, Haru did absolutely nothing wrong, and I have no sympathy whatsoever for those bank robbers and the accomplice, right? You don't want to get shot, maybe think twice next time before you want to rob a bank or point a gun at a police officer, fake or not. And, that's even more dumb, right? What was she thinking? Taking up a fake gun and pointing it at... Oh my god, that's... no sympathy at all. I'm sorry. If you're going to side with criminals, be my guest. That is definitely not what I am going to be doing here. And those 2 are criminals, end of story. But, okay, fine. Haru is affected by this. Okay, whatever, let's move on, right? Now, talking about the First Division, honestly, they are so incompetent, and really, I think it really sullies the name of the First Division of the Japanese police, because you gotta understand, the First Division are the elite of the Japanese police. Think of, maybe the FBI versus, your regular, normal police officer and whatnot, and indeed probably the most distinguished division within the FBI, whatever that is, like criminal investigation. I know that the FBI has their own sort of divisions as well, but basically the top of the top, right? And that's what First Division actually represents. And yet, from what I've seen from them so far, what we've seen from them so far during their time in these episodes, they really don't seem like all that bright, right? I've been having quite a low opinion of them, even since the train hostage situation, in which they botched horribly. Like, they did not do anything right at all. And, continuing on to here, right? So, okay, fine. If I really were to cut them some slack, we are operating from a viewpoint where we kind of understand the entire situation, right? And so, it would kind of make sense in a way, an officer was killed and Kanbei, Daisuke, and Haru were on the scene, so bring them in for questioning and whatnot. But even then, the way that they did things was really out of order and not really logical at all. In fact, they should have been at the police station immediately to give their reports. Even if Daisuke wanted to say, okay, I quit being an inspector and whatnot, he would immediately be brought in. You wouldn't have to wait until the next day to do something like that, right? Not to mention, it doesn't really work that way. You still need to go in and have your debriefing and so on and so forth, right? And so actually only a day after and then trying to hold them into custody and whatnot, like that's really not how things are done. And then, I thought it was pretty obvious, like even without really understanding Takei's character or his motivations or whatnot, I thought it was pretty obvious with his talk with Haru that he was trying to say he wasn't going to accept his resignation. Although for me, I thought it was more just the resignation from First Division and maybe wishing to be transferred. I didn't realize it was actually resignation from the police force altogether. But I thought it was pretty well implied there. And Hoshino, all I can say is God bless him. He's not really cut out to be a First Division police officer. I'm sorry, transfer him somewhere else. He's bringing shame to the name. Okay. So yeah. Anyways, I'm really annoyed by the police from this series. So let's move on, right? Let's move on to some more fun stuff here. So Shigemaru is indeed him, and he is still alive, right? And apparently the adolium or whatever it is, it can be used for electronic warfare, sort of like an EMP or something like that, or etc., etc., right? Obviously, the properties of it is probably something we're going to go into in the next few episodes. Now, the thing here, though, is I don't really think it makes much sense in that Shigemaru's his only motivation is to somehow sell it to an international arms dealer and profit out of it, right? Like, his family is worth unlimited money, right? He doesn't need that money. So there has to be another situation here why he is doing something like this and why he wants to weaponize this, right? Is this more of a supervillain kind of thing where he wants to take over the world or perhaps take over a country or something like that? Was he blackmailed? No, it doesn't make sense. How can he be blackmailed into doing something like this, right? Or what I'm saying is, what exactly is driving Shigemaru? Because I really don't think it's profits or anything. Is it perhaps in terms of blackmailing, perhaps safety of the family? But that doesn't really make sense because he also killed his own wife and so on and so forth. Unless, yeah, and apparently it does seem like he's calling the shots here, right? So I don't think it's a case that he's being blackmailed either. I really want to know his motivation. What is the reason for him trying to weaponize this exotic material and trying to fake his own death and do research, and then only now showing up and trying to apparently sell it to an international arms trader? Well, we'll have to see, right? But definitely I'm hoping that they have an adequate explanation as to why he is doing all this, and it better be not just effing money, because that is definitely one thing that he does not need for now. Come on, they literally spent billions of dollars just doing a campaign in order to get people to take a 360 video in order to use it as surveillance footage data. They are really not hurting for money. In this episode alone, Daisuke spent almost $3 billion US, right? He is balance unlimited, right? That's all I can say. So, hopefully, the next few episodes, we'll be getting to see what exactly the true motivations are. I'm assuming at the beginning of next episode, Haru is going to do things his way. No, I'm gonna be a police officer that doesn't use a gun. I'll have non-lethal ways to handle the situations. And, alright, good for him, alright. And then maybe we'll finally get a one-on-one between the two Daisukes, and then things will be fun because we still got 3 episodes to go forward. Still plenty of story to go through as well. So, anyways, that was Millionaire Detective episode 9. I'll see you guys next week as well. Bye bye.